Thanks for joining us for the November Community Connection. I'm Brooke Hall, coming to you from Community Park, a 21-acre area with athletic fields, playground equipment, and a park building. First up is Mark Bonesteel to talk about the new Fridley Fire and Police display at the History Center.
Hi, I'm Mark Bonesteel. Welcome to the Fridley History Center and our new display, our public safety room. Our public safety room comprises two different rooms, one with firefighter uniforms, photos, and equipment, and our other room has police department uniforms, photos, and equipment as well. This museum has been open since 1989, and the museum itself has never ever had a huge remodel. So starting with this project, this is the catalyst for our new entire building remodel of the Fridley Historical Society. Once the public safety exhibit is done, our next major project will be a complete remodel of the east room of this schoolhouse. The building that this museum is in was built in 1933, and we leased this building from the school district. Some of the items we have on display here at the museum are a fireman's coat from the late 1960s, early 1970s, fireman's jumpsuit, and then a current firefighter's uniform. These were donated by the Fridley Fire Department, as well as the badges and the collar brass. Also behind me, we have a 1960s hazmat suit and a 1970s fireman's jacket. In our police room, we have Chief McCarthy's leather jacket. That was donated by Fridley resident Ben Headland. That jacket was worn by Chief McCarthy during his tenure from 1954 to 1974. Also on display in the police room are several uniform shirts that were donated by the daughter of Hilbert Voigt. Hilbert Voigt was the longest serving Fridley officer. He served in the city of Fridley for 33.5 years. He worked in 5 different decades. So he's a true legend in police lore here in Fridley. We have his uniform shirts. We're also very lucky. We have a pair of green pants that were worn by the very first mayor of Fridley, Carl Hartman. Carl Hartman was an auxiliary police officer here in the 1950s. His family donated the green pants. So we have a complete 1950s uniform from the Fridley Police Department, which consisted of green pants and a gray shirt. Also on display, we have current uniforms from the Fridley Police Department, a community service uniform that I used to wear when I worked for the city of Fridley back in the 1980s and 90s. We also have a softball uniform, and we also have the only inspector's uniform. Andy Todd was the only inspector in the history of the Fridley Police Department, and he donated his uniform, and that is on display here as well. We also have a civil defense exhibit. The civil defense unit was part of both the police and fire department. Basically, they were volunteers who came out when there were emergencies, such as tornadoes, floods, and they provided support to both the police and fire department. We have some material from that unit on display, some badges, some Geiger counters, items like that. Also on display, we have a large amount of equipment, including some respirators from the 1950s and 60s, some original firefighters' helmets, some leather firefighter shields that the firefighters wore. We have a very rare glass grenade fire extinguisher from the 1940s. Before the modern day fire extinguishers, back in those days, they had the fire extinguisher material in a glass bottle, and you would throw that onto a fire to put the fire out. We have one of those on display here as well. Also on display as part of our police exhibit, we have the Harger Drunkometer. That was purchased by the Fridley Police Department in 1956, I believe, and it was used to determine how high someone's alcohol content was while they were driving. We had that donated many years ago, and we have that on display. We also have some radar units, some of the old disc-mounted external units, as well as a very rare corded unit that the officers used to lay across the road, and when a car would drive over it, it would tell you what speed the car was going. We have the first computers that were placed into a car. We have some record books showing the municipal court records, because municipal court used to be held at Fridley City Hall. We have some of those records, as well as officer schedules, some trophies, some preliminary breath test machines that officers used on the streets back in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s to see how high alcohol content was for drivers. So we have a wide variety of different equipment from both the police and fire department here at the museum. We invite everybody down for our grand opening, which will be December 1st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have coffee with the cops and firefighters, as well as the Christmas tree exhibit downstairs. We're located at 611 Mississippi Street in beautiful downtown Fridley. Please remember that we are an all-volunteer historical society. We're always looking for new members as well as donations. A lot of the stuff that we have on display here was donated by you, the citizens of Fridley. We look forward to seeing you on December 1st.
Before you head over to learn about past Fridley police, let's hear from current Fridley PD staff about car seat installations.
Hi, I'm Courtney Miller. I'm the Crime Prevention Specialist with the Fridley Police Department. And today I want to talk to you about proper car seat installation. Did you know there is a free service here at the Fridley Police Department where we can inspect and install your car seat for free? Now I'm expecting my first little one here soon, and it is a requirement that before you leave the hospital that you have a properly installed car seat. So today I'm going to have one of my colleagues properly install my car seat so that we're ready to hit the road when the baby arrives.
Hello, I'm Officer Magana with the Fridley Police Department, a representative of your Safe Kids Worldwide here in Anoka County and a certified technician. It is important to know that your child must be in a child safety restraint seat until they are 8 years old or 4 foot 9 inches tall, whichever comes first. It is also important to know that you never install a child safety restraint seat in the front seats of the vehicle and always in the back. When receiving your car seat, it is very important to reference the manual it comes with, the registration form, the stickers on the side display of each seat, and also the owner's manual of the vehicle to make sure you are properly installing your car seat. It is important to know that every car seat does expire, so you do want to check that. 3 out of 4 car seats are installed improperly, so we encourage you to come in and see a Safe Kids technician. If you are unsure or you have any questions, please contact a Safe Kids installer at 763-572-3629.
Captain Ryan George is here to talk about the body-worn camera program. Over the past 2 years, staff have been examining policies, practices, and products. They're ready for a full implementation in January.
Hi, I'm Captain Ryan George of the Fridley Police Department. I'd like to speak to you today about an exciting new program that we have at the Fridley Police Department. We'll be implementing a body-worn camera program starting in 2019. You may see cameras on officers already. We're in the implementation phase, which started earlier this summer. We've selected Visual Labs as our camera vendor. Visual Labs is a software company that actually uses an Android phone as the camera. So all of our officers now have new smartphones. This smartphone is capable of taking HD video and audio, but also relays GPS information about where the officer is, and it can act as our digital recorder for tape statements as well. There's a lot of new functions in this camera, and we've had great success so far with the trials and everything that we've done. We've implemented a draft body-worn camera policy, which is available on our website and will continue to be on our website as long as we have body-worn cameras. This policy is changing based off of input that we receive from our officers and from the public. We have had many different listening sessions and presentations to the public, so everyone did get some input on this. But if you do have some questions or you'd like some input, you can certainly contact me, and my contact information is on our website as well. This program goes into effect on January 1st, 2019. So at that point, all officers will be in full compliance with our policy. They will be wearing cameras and using them on all calls for service. Really, the goal is to have video for every single call for service, no matter what that call is. So every search, every traffic stop, every interaction that we have with somebody in the public is going to be caught on camera. We will retain the video for a minimum of 180 days, and some of the video we will keep forever. If there's a use of force incident, we'll just keep it on our servers forever. So the camera is activated by the officer by just hitting a button on the side, and it will give them a vibration every few minutes to let them know that the camera is activated and it's recording. And as soon as the officer presses the button to stop it, it automatically transmits that video and all that data just right up to the cloud over the cellular signal on the phone. We don't have to dock them or do anything to download that video. It just does it all for us, and it's stored in the cloud on a secure server. Our officers will have the ability to view their own videos in most cases, except for a critical incident. They will not be allowed to view their video or any of that data before they provide a statement if there's an officer-involved shooting or an in-custody death. Also, the officers do not have the ability, nor does anyone in our department, nobody has the ability to erase or alter these videos, with the exception of redacting some information when we do have a public data request to protect the identities of certain people. We will be using these in conjunction with our squad car cameras. All of our squad cars have 3 cameras in them. We will continue to use those cameras on our squad cars as well. One exciting thing about this body-worn camera program is we did qualify and receive a $63,000 federal grant, which will help us with the implementation of this program, and also for some of the license fees and subscription fees that come along with this program. So that's very exciting to save money for the taxpayers.
Who says fun and games are only for the kids? Fridley Recreation also offers a variety of activities for adults. Cleve McCoy is here to tell us about your options for November and December.
Hi, my name is Cleve McCoy, Program Supervisor in the Recreation Department. I'm here to talk about our open gym opportunities for youth on Fridays at Hayes Elementary from 4 to 6:30 p.m. We have services grade through 5th through 8th, and we'll call it our Music and Hoops program. It's $1 per person. We'll play basketball games, and we'll have some of the video games, we'll have some music playing. Just a good hangout spot for kids after school. With the cooler temperatures, we'll move away from our fall programs and we'll start our winter programs. We'll offer our adult men's basketball league. We'll play that at Fridley Middle School on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So we have our Wednesday league. Wednesday D is a competitive league. We combine with the city of Blaine to offer you basketball on Wednesday nights. It's pretty fun. And then we have our Thursday leagues. We offer an upper and a lower league. And all those leagues are $575 to register. And with registration started October 16th. And we'll take, our deadline is up until November 14th. So sign up today. We look for more information on our winter adult sports leagues. We have a new twist this year. We'll have our boot hockey league. We'll offer a Wednesday and a Sunday night league. We'll have our co-rec on Thursdays and our men's on Tuesdays. Registration begins November 5th, and just looking forward to having some really good competition and teams.
During the colder months, our heating sources, decorations, cooking, and holiday activities ramp up, and so do the risk for fire. Let's put a freeze on fires this winter. Fridley Fire is here to give us information and tips on fire safety.
Hi, welcome to Fridley Fire. My name is Firefighter Ryan. I'll be helping you today. We'll be talking, this year's theme for the month of October is the 3 L's, look, listen, and learn. So today we brought you inside the Firehouse 1, Station 1, and we'll be talking about our fire safety that we have here in the kitchen here. So once we move into the kitchen area, we'll be talking about fire safety around the kitchen. One main thing, a huge thing, especially if you have children in the home, is making sure that our pots, when we're cooking or broiling or anything like that, all the handles are going to be facing in or away from the area of walking. We just want to make sure that we don't tip or spill anything on ourselves or on the little children that they may be able to grab. So also we want to be very careful that when we use pot holders and things like that to wipe up spills or to grab pots and pans, that we make sure that we place it far and away from any burners or hot surfaces. So we're going to place that over here as well. So we want to make sure, back again, we want to make sure our handles are turned inwards and our pot holders are away from any hot or warm surfaces. So in terms of fire safety inside the kitchen, around the stovetop, we do want to be careful, but in the unfortunate event that we do have a stovetop fire, there's a way to put it out, especially if we're dealing with grease. So if it's a grease fire and you're baking or frying anything, you never want to approach the fire from the top. You always want to come at it from an angle. So for example, if I had a grease fire in here, I'm gonna take the pot lid, I'm gonna come like this, and I'm gonna gently lay it down and cover it, also while turning off my burner. That's just to protect you and protect yourself and your family members. You can also have an extinguisher. It is recommended to have an extinguisher somewhere in the house or in at least the garage. You can buy these at any of your local stores, or you can get one of these magnetic extinguishers. They are used if the fire is a little too large. They're magnetic. They hang from your stovetop or from your countertop, and when the heat is greater than what the fuse link is here, it automatically melts and disperses a chemical agent very similar to baking powder in your normal fire extinguisher. So in terms of dealing with grease fire, you can either put it out by using the lid, by using one of the chemical agents, but you never ever want to put out a grease fire with water. Water will make the grease bigger and may cause burns to yourself or even start your kitchen on fire, in which response we would have to come. So you want to avoid using water on grease fires and always use one of the methods presented here today. Covering with a lid or using one of the chemical agents here you can find at one of your stores locally. Not only that, but we also want to come over here and we have our toaster here at the station. We want to pull that, if we have it in storage, away from any cabinets or any paper towels or anything like that, as it warms up to make your toast, things like that. So the second part of the Look, Listen, and Learn program is going to be listen. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to listen to your smoke detectors every month. In the city of Fridley, we do have a program where you can call us and schedule an appointment, and the duty crew firefighters, the 2 firefighters on duty, will come out, doing a quick inspection, test your smoke detectors if need be, and or replace them. We also have a battery program that we have sponsored that we can also do that through a scheduling system. So you want to test these at least once a month. Usually have one in your every room of occupancy, so where someone sleeps, or at least one in the kitchen and the living room, things like that. That's just a recommendation. The third L is going to be learning. We want to learn 2 exits, at least 2 ways of exiting our house or residential area. So for example, for us, it'd be the front door and probably a rear door here, or it could be a garage for whatever we want to do. You want to have all family members know the exits, so including small children and adults as well. Practicing those at least once a year can greatly help firefighters in case the unfortunate event that there is a house fire, that you can account for all your family members. So that's the theme for the month of October of 2018 is Look, Listen, and Learn. So we want to look for any potential fire hazards in a house. We want to learn 2 ways out, and we also want to listen for our smoke detectors at least once a month. Thank you again. My name is Firefighter Ryan, serving the city of Fridley.
Now, let's take a look at what our City Council has been working on this month. Here's City Manager Wally Wysopal with the October Council update.
Welcome to the Council update for October. I'm Wally Wysopal, City Manager. The City Council met on the 8th and the 22nd. At our conference meetings, which precede the regular City Council meeting, the City Council members interviewed candidates for council or commission appointments, and then they also discussed water rates for next year and reviewed an analysis of our current water rates. And they also heard a water quality report from our city engineer, Jim Kozlucher. The City Council then met at our regular meetings, and we had code changes in several regards. The first being our administrative organizational structure for city departments. This change allows the city manager to make modifications within the organization by bringing a resolution to the City Council for approval. And then the City Council also discussed and passed a first reading on outdoor storage in residential areas. And this zoning code change will now allow city staff to observe properties from not only the public right-of-way, such as a street, but also the neighboring properties as well. The reason for this change is that one of the most frequent calls that City Council members get are from residents who are backing up to a neighbor who may have lots of outdoor storage and offensive types of things in the backyard. But since they can't be seen from the street, there's no code enforcement action that can be taken. This item will have its second reading in November and then goes into effect 30 days after that. The City Council addressed several assessment types of issues. Now, assessments are these types of situations where a resident either has a nuisance that the city had to come in and cut the lawn, or that they had a water main or water service line that needed to be repaired and couldn't afford it, And in these cases, the city council can assess the property for reimbursement of those charges. And so the city council did take action with regard to delinquent utility bills for water and sewer, lateral line repairs, those are the water and sewers lines that go to the home, and then also for nuisances such as tall grass and weeds and that kind of thing. The city council then took a look at our zoning code and made a change to allow an apartment building to go in at the current east side of the train station that will create some housing for seniors and a market rate housing as well, and then some below market rate financing and housing for people as well. That's going to Sherman Associates, and that zoning change will allow them to begin construction on those apartments next spring. And then finally, the City Council approved a calendar for 2019. City Council meetings will remain on the second and fourth Monday of the month at 7 p.m., but will be located at the new City Hall on University Avenue. So that's it for October. We'll talk to you next month. Thanks for tuning in.
A little cold weather won't stop us. There's still weekly events at the Nature Center, the last recycling drop-off of the year, and more this month. Before we sign off, check out these upcoming community events.
Halloween's over. What are you going to do with your pumpkin? Bring it over to Springbrook Nature Center to be recycled. A pumpkin drop-off bin will be located in the parking lot from November 1st through 13th. Throw your pumpkin in the bin and we'll make sure that it gets recycled into compost. Pumpkins only, please.
That's all for this month's Community Connection. Be sure to subscribe to email updates and follow the City of Fridley on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Brooke Hall. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of Fridley Municipal Television, Channel 17. Thanks for watching.